You might not be aware of this, but this year will be the 35th anniversary for the Legend of Zelda series. Some of my favorite games. I've got a lot of favorite memories playing these games, particularly on the Super Nintendo with A Link to the Past. One of my favorite games of all time, and then going on to Zelda 64, then going into the GameCube, and of course playing Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, and then Breath of the Wild and Skyward Sword. I didn't really care for because I didn't like the Wii. Didn't like the Wiimote. Not my favorite game. Was a pretty different Zelda for me. But anyway, that doesn't matter. We're going to talk about the fact that every single time a new game comes out for this series, or there's some kind of milestone, a bunch of very strange journalists and NPC Puritans online over on social media, they demand changes. And it's usually either we need to make Link a girl, even though I'm pretty sure Link doesn't have junk. There's some really funny designs that show that. He does. But the point of Link is, Link looks kind of, you're not sure. He has a very feminine face. It's done for a reason, so that really anybody can see themselves in Link. That's why he's called Link. He's a link to the game. He's the player's Link. That's the point. That's why he doesn't have much of a personality. You're supposed to become him. And this gets lost on a lot of these weirdos every time they make this push. Now, let's say Nintendo decided, we're going to let you choose the body type now. Okay, we'll have Link and Linkle. They'll look the same. They'd probably just have different hairstyles. I really wouldn't have too much of a problem with that, to be honest. I really wouldn't care. The only thing that would probably make me roll my eyes is that all the weirdos would celebrate because they take that as, you get an inch, you take a mile. So then they would demand more things, maybe to give Link a special male friend, if you know what I'm saying. But anyway, let me show you something. Here's an article from Inverse. I want to point out what they have here in the title real quick. The 35th anniversary of Zelda is happening in 2021. And why do they have that in there? Well, first off, because Nintendo will likely do some kind of an event at some point this year, just like they did with Mario. There was a big Mario event, and we got that special game. And then, of course, Mario 3D All-Stars, which was a fantastic pack. I played all three of the games on it. Will they do something like that with Zelda? It's very convenient for them to do that, and they might. They've never really done anything like that with Zelda. They have made compilation packs, special ones where you got a lot of the Zeldas, but it was usually a pack-in game. I remember the last time they did that was with the GameCube. I could be wrong. Will they do it again? I don't know. I think it would be good business, and it would be something to put on the Switch, especially if they gave us all of the HD remakes. So if we got Wind Waker, Breath of the Wild, and Skyrim, or not Skyrim, Skyward Sword, on a game disc, that'd be pretty cool. Probably be easy to put the old ones on there too, but I don't know if they'll actually do that. But they put that in there because they know this year people are going to be searching 35th anniversary of Zelda, hoping that game comes out. And it's kind of a slime ball tactic that they do this because it's to try to make their point that nobody's going to agree with. They want to get people riled up to click on this and see what they have to say. But listen to what they say this time. Nintendo should kill Link in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, which is probably not coming out this year. It probably won't be out till next year, to be honest, because Nintendo takes their sweet-ass time with this stuff, which is why this game won't be broken like Cyberpunk. They say, okay, of course that sounds ridiculous and perhaps a bit sadistic. Why on earth would anyone actually want that to happen? That's right. Nobody wants that to happen at all except for you. As far as game heroes go, Link is about as inoffensive as they come. That's not true. He's very offensive to you because he's a male. Okay? These people want every game to star a woman. Every game must star a woman. He's a silent protagonist who always does right. A perpetual good boy that's just here to adventure. That's kind of the point. Link is iconic thanks to his signature look, but it's hard to say that he's had much character development over the years. As protagonists like Kratos become more fleshed out with time, Link's Link looks more like a theme park mascot paid to wordlessly take photos with tourists. Do we love Link because he's a good character or simply because he's a gamer's version of Mickey Mouse? We love Link because he's been around for a long time and he's the Link to the play. He's a silent hero for a reason. Okay, but this fails to dawn on them. They want Zelda to move to the front. And it's like nobody's clamoring for that. And there's games where you can play Zelda. In the new Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, Zelda has a really big part. She's very playable. But like I've said before, and I said in the previous video that I've made on this topic, it's never enough. So you have Linkle, who exists in these Hyrule Warriors games. That's not enough. Linkle needs to be in the game. She needs to straight up replace Zelda. There's people that have said that. Or not replace Zelda, replace Link. So they go on this. Listen to this. So then there's Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, a Dynasty Warriors style spin-off that had placed the focus more on the series' side characters. Age of Calamity may have ruffled some feathers with its timeline shenanigans, but it offers some of the most effective character work the series has ever seen. Zelda herself is a highlight, getting a full arc that explains why she's so special in this universe. Those moments get obscured when Link is in the driver's seat, breathlessly huffing around like a glorified errand boy. Nintendo is currently in a perfect position to make a more bold, creative leap with Breath of the Wild's upcoming sequel. At the moment, we know next to nothing about the game than the fact that it's creepy. How do we know it's creepy? There's been there's a 20-second trailer that exists for this game, but it's creepy. Okay. There's a genuine air of mystery around the game's teaser trailer, which has fans hoping that Nintendo's going to drastically switch the formula up like it did with Majora's Mask back in the day. So I once again hypothetically ask, what if Nintendo just straight up killed Link in the sequel? Imagine the game opening with Link failing to save the day and Zelda having to take up the reins. Hell, he can stay on a stray outer rock or fall off a steep incline. Pick your poison. Why not have him mauled to death by wolves? Why not? It wouldn't just be a shocking moment, but one that signals that Breath of the Wild 2 is going to be a special experience that continues to rethink the most basic elements of this series. Now, here's what would happen, okay? And it's funny here, they say this would be incredibly low stakes. The Zelda series has a bizarre timeline in which there are multiple Links, and this is true. But if they did this, they would never be able to go back to Link being in the hero seat. Because what would happen is every weirdo in the world would come out that probably has never even played these freaking games and demand that Zelda be the top dog. That's usually how this always works. And Nintendo's not going to do it. Don't worry. Link will be the hero throughout that entire game. Zelda might get a bigger part. It even become playable in some parts of the game, and that's fine. But Link is always going to be the champion, and that's never going to change. Nintendo, for the most part, has never bowed to weirdos. The American company has. They actually bent the knee once over the summer, and it was really awkward. They were very pressured to do it. It was really funny. Like every time they posted something on Twitter, everyone would jump in there. Nintendo, when you going to bend the knee? They finally did. But I like to point out that was Nintendo of America, not Nintendo of Japan. Nintendo of Japan is very inclined to just tell these people to get effed. And I've always appreciated that about them. They'll never outright bend the knee to a bunch of weirdos. They're not going to break this game to make people on Twitter happy. They're very focused on making money. They're the very anti-censorship at this point. They let people pretty much put whatever on the system, except like hardcore stuff. Like you can't, some of the stuff you find on Steam, you're probably not going to find on Switch. I really don't think there's anything wrong with that. For the most part, they let people pretty much do what they want with their games. But it just really, it annoys the hell out of me every time we get close to a new release. So this happened with Hyrule Warriors. When that game was about to come out, we got pushes for changes to make Link a girl. Now Breath of the Wild 2 is on the horizon. We have that anniversary series. Now they're calling to straight up kill Link. It's just a joke at this point. And it happens every time there's an event or a release for this game series. And I find it funny, and I just like to kind of talk about it because it is something to talk about, I'm not going to lie, but It's just funny the lengths that they go, and it's almost like they think that they're going to get what they want. Now, if Nintendo was an American company solely, they might get it. If Zelda was made by Bethesda, you would probably get this Switch. They would probably listen to these weirdos and make him Linkle now. But because thankfully Nintendo is based in Japan and that's where this game is developed, that's not going to happen. And that's something that I think I think that's something that we can appreciate. Anyway, that's pretty much it, guys. Let me know what you think about all of this. Should Nintendo take out Link? Let me know what you think about that in the comments. Would you want this? Would you not want this? Let me know what you think. Also, if you would please like and share the video, subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out.